So then, just a quick video about do while loops, which is really just an extension of the while loop up here. So we've seen that we can do a while loop where we evaluate some kind of condition, and if that is true, we run the code, and then we add one to whatever the counter is. Now imagine that we start off with I equal to 5, then this thing right here, this is never going to be true, and we're never going to run this code. Now that might be fine, but sometimes you want the code to run at least once, even if this condition is not true, okay? So even if I starts at 5, it would be nice to maybe run the code once, and then we don't execute the loop anymore, okay? Because the condition is not true. So how do we do that? Well, we'd use a do while loop, which, like I said, is just an extension of the while loop. We just write it a bit different. So I'm going to take all this code here, the code block, and cut it, and then above while I'm going to say do, and then I'm going to paste the code block. And now what we're saying right here is do this code, and it's going to do it once to begin with, regardless of the condition being true or false in here. And then at the end of the do block, we have our while keyword, and then we do add a semicolon at the end because it's not a code block at the end anymore. We don't add them when it's a code block at the end, but now it's the while statement, we do add our semicolon. So again, we're saying let I equal 5, then we come down here, we do this code block regardless, and we still add 1 to I, then we run the while condition. And if I is less than 5 again, then we go back up to the loop and run it again, and we carry on as normal. But all this does is run it once to begin with, even if the condition is not true in here. So let me save this and preview in a browser, and we can see the val of I is 5. So that is because we run this once and I is 5. If we change this to 4, then save it, it's still only going to run once because we run it and I is 4, then we add 1 to 4, which is 5, then we evaluate the condition. Well, I is 5 now, so it's not less than 5, so we don't run it again. If I is 3, then we should get it twice. We get 3 and 4, okay? So that's an easy way to execute a block of code inside a loop first, regardless of whether the condition is true or false.